It's over. It is over. Trinidad, with nothing to play for, has dethroned the United States, knocking them out of the World Cup 2018.
Today I'm going to talk about US Men's Soccer Federation, that their failure to qualify for the World Cup exposes the fact that this federation does not promote the soccer enough in the US to ensure success, which are leading to devastating failures and therefore causing US Soccer Federation to lose out on opportunities that could bring lots of money. Last month, US Men's Soccer that has qualified for the World Cup every time since last missing out in 1986 suffer a shameful 2-1 loss against Trinidad and Tobago. In the reaction of this defeat, Umar Gonzalez, who plays as a defender for US Men's Soccer, said that it is the worst day of my career. The worst part did not come during the match itself, but when the US Soccer Federation delivered their opinion to the media. So how did they react to ensure nothing like this would happen again? Sunil Gulati, who is the president of US Soccer Federation, said that you don't make changes based on the board being 2 inches wide or 2 inches in, referring to the fact that if Clint Dempsey's shot would not have struck the woodwork, US would have qualified. Now this is where the problem starts. When you have a federation who does not recognize the disappointment of their fans for not being in the World Cup. The federation should start thinking about making changes, because due to the success of last World Cup, the soccer fan base among US grew a lot. According to a recent research teen study, Americans aged 12 to 70, 78% consider them to be a soccer fans. Not only this, US will lose many sponsors and money because Fox Sports paid more than $400 million for the US English language rights to World Cup in 2018. In the 2014 World Cup, FIFA paid $9 million to US Soccer for just making it to the round of 16. So, missing out on World Cup will cost American soccer tens of millions of dollars. This federation has created a large, passionate audience and given it nothing to watch after this World Cup failures. This US Soccer Federation counter argument to justify their failure is that soccer is not part of American culture. Sunil Gulati has also said that millions of Americans play soccer, but the top teams are not signing them, so he is also suggesting that Americans are not talented enough to play soccer. First, he says soccer is not part of American culture, and then he says millions of Americans are playing soccer or playing this beautiful game. So this just shows something is really wrong with the federation. Other argument is that young teens' expectations are not realistic, but someone should ask the federation that how exactly US is producing players like Christian Pulisic. One of their arguments that makes sense is that American soccer is played too much in comfortable league and not enough in the street, and that federation may need to do some outreach in the poor community in order to find talent. But will they ever do that? And the answer is maybe no. Now that US did not qualify for the World Cup and will miss out on the opportunity of increasing its fan base, they need to find solution, because in a country that demolishes Olympic competition and houses the world best league in a handful of sports, surely they can find 11 top quality players. If the US wishes to compete at the global level, a federation must take a hard look at the youth system. Few American kids grow up idealizing American players. It is always Messi or Ronaldo. They should rather promote their superstars like Christian Pulisic or Bobby Wood to inspire young kids. There are restrictions on foreign players in MLS. However, less restriction would give players better competition to play with, and more people would want to watch it. Christian Pulisic recently suggested in an interview that there should be level playing field, because European players are allowed to move country once they are 16, but in US you have to be 18. In the end, there are many countries that could not qualify for the World Cup, like Italian or Chile soccer team. It is part of the game, but the US Soccer Federation needs to understand that there are many people in the US who cares about US soccer and want US to be successful, like they were in 2009 or 2014. We want the federation to ensure success in future, because soccer is the biggest sports in the world, and US has enough talent in them to be in the World Cup.